Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Her Majesty blog, where we bring together the world of pageants with the aim of revolutionizing those standards of beauty and creating social development through women empowerment. My name is Onke, and I will be your host for the show this evening. And on this particular series called It Is Within Her, where we chat to amazing, trailblazing women at the forefront of pageants, from queens to organizers, finalists, CEOs, and the likes, as they let us in on their different journeys of becoming purposeful and pioneering women in pageantry. This evening, sorry about that, I just got a distraction. This evening, we are chatting to the beautiful, she's so stunning, oh so gorgeous, Thakgatso Sebela, who is a finalist at the Miss Teenager South Africa pageant. So Thakgatso, when you are ready, please send, she sent the request. I think Thakgatso started contacting us somewhere in May when the finalists for Miss Teenager South Africa were announced, and she became the semi-finalists were announced actually, and then she became a finalist. Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Amazing stuff. Sorry for the delay. I had some issues with my stand, so if you see things happening it's so funny. So if you see things happening with my screen,
You saying you have problems with your stand?
I have issues with my stand, my dear. So if you see things happening and I look like I am moving, just say, dude, you are moving.
No, I understand.
Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. How are you doing this evening? Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
We couldn't wait. I mean, we started talking in May, about this interview.
Yep. I don't know if the problem is with me, but you're not quite audible.
I can see you.
Okay. You. Now I can hear you.
Okay, great stuff. Yes, I think I can also hear you clearer now. Okay. And the painting looks nice and aligned at the back. Thank you. Emo, it's in the middle. It's in the middle. So we're good to go. No, thank you so much for joining us once again. I feel like the ice has already been broken, but I need to ask you this question. Question. What is your favorite song to walk to in a pageant?
My favorite song in a pageant?
To walk to in a pageant.
Quite a lot, but I think I love Independent. I love that song, and I think pageant organizers know. I don't know how they know, but I can never go to a pageant and I come back without it being played. It's literally my favorite song. The minute it goes on, I just feel so
Exactly right. Like, it's always there. Now that you say it, the song is always like there. All the time. All right. I love it too, by the way. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for agreeing to do all of this. A lot goes on behind the scenes, guys, when it comes to doing all these lives. So yesterday we had things, today we had things again, but we are here. Amazing stuff. So please, I'm not here to do the talking. It's your show. Tell me more about yourself. Who are you beyond pageants? Who is Thakgatso? Who is this gorgeous young lady that we see on Instagram posing nicely and flourishing?
So Thakgatso beyond the stage is a lot of things. I'm such an explorational person. I love trying new things every day. I don't know if it's a problem, but I try new things every single day. I'm a reader. Of course, I'm a model. I play chess. I do debating. I do public speaking. And for quite some time, I was a dancer. There's literally nothing I didn't try. I was even a poet in primary school. I just love exploring, and I think I love the world of arts and politics.
That's so amazing. So you love the world of arts and politics. Okay, that's an interesting one.
Yes, I know.
What sparked the interest in politics?
So, I grew up in a political. Everyone at home is a politician except my mother. My aunts, my uncle, everyone is a politician. And so, growing up with people, I got inspired. I can't think of anything else outside politics. Those are the conversations we have at home. Everything that happens in our lives is politically related. So I had to dwell into the life of politics.
Okay, so where do you see yourself in politics then in the
I see myself
future?
in parliament. I don't know what I'm going to be doing there, but I'm going to be there.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I wouldn't have guessed. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then let's talk about your advocacy then. You said you like trying out new things, you are into politics and but your advocacy is in personal development amongst the youth as well as financial literacy. So how do you incorporate all of that into everything else now and what you do and how you practice it?
So one thing about me, I do not wait to have everything before I start. So not having resources did not stop me from leaving out my advocacy. So the only thing I have is my mouth. So I make sure I talk as much. I avail myself and I educate my peers about financial development. So I try my level best to like put it out there. I do panel discussions. I do like what you call these things, polls on Instagram. I make sure I talk because and I'm currently writing a book which I think will be published next year.
Oh my gosh, that is also amazing. What's the name of the book?
So it's a series of 8 books, and the first one called Discovering Your Potential.
Oh my gosh, that's really, really amazing. Discovering your potential, personal development. So there it is, you know, as much as you are doing all of the great stuff, then everything will come together in your series of books. Amazing. And now you have a fascinating background, you know, being born in Limpopo and raised in Soweto. How has that influenced the person that you are today?
I lived in Limpopo for quite some time, but I was still a little kid. I don't even remember things that were happening. And I grew up in Soweto. So I have always wanted to go back to Limpopo. I felt like it's such a calm and peaceful place. And growing up in Soweto motivated me to be the person that I am. The youth of Soweto, oh my gosh, I don't know how to start. They're so cheerful. They dream so big, but they limit themselves. They think they do not have the to achieve their dreams. And little obstacles like taking drugs, drinking alcohol, and teenage pregnancy stand in their way of dreams. So I want to change that.
Ah, that's so amazing. So now let's get into pageantry. So you started doing pageants in 2017 and entered your first one without your parents even knowing about it. What inspired you to get into pageantry?
You know, when you grow up being like a thin little girly, a slim girl, everyone calls you a model, whether you like it or not. Oh my gosh, what this? Everyone calls you a model. You're literally a model. Ah, Matlara. So I was this friend saw a post on Facebook about a pageant, and she told me about it. Okay, that's when I started having interest, but I did not enter any pageant. And then there was an I don't know where that organization went, but it was such a nice organization around my community, and all they dealt with was modeling, drama, and singing. So they always did competitions and all these things. And then I entered the first pageant there, and I lost I was still a little baby. I didn't even tell my parents. I lost my first pageant. I was so heartbroken, my gosh. And then when I came back, I left.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. And how did your parents react when they found out that you entered this pageant without them knowing?
They were angry because now I didn't tell them anything. I only told them the day before the pageant that, okay, I'm going to need this much. And then, why are you only telling us now? Because if you had told us earlier, we would have bought you stuff and everything. What I did is I used outfits that I already have at home instead of buying new swimwear and everything. And time for rehearsals, I would lie and say I'm going to school. So I only stayed at school for chess practice and poetry. So I would lie and say I'm going to school, knowing very well I'm practicing. I thought they were not gonna agree. So I'm like, whether they like it or not. And when they found out, they were angry because now it looked like they did not want to support me.
Right. I feel them. I understand them. Now they didn't get a chance to, you know, actively participate in a very first pageant. Next thing you are Miss South Africa, you are Miss World, and they need to tell the story of how you went on that stage. And, you know, they have to, heartbreak needs to come back to say, you know, this girl, she didn't tell us, but now we are proud of her. We are proud of her. All right. And then how is there support right now? Let's say with your current pageant, Miss Teenager South Africa.
So my parents are like, I can say they're emotionally invested in this pageant. Oh my gosh. The ones that constantly remind me, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. when are you going to dress fitting, when are you doing this, when are you doing that. Like they see my vision, they understand my vision. Biggest cheerleaders for everyone.
Ah, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. And now, what has been the most challenging part of your pageantry journey thus far? Besides the fact that you lost your first pageant and you wanted to cry.
So to be quite honest, comparison. I always, let me tell you the truth, I always compare myself with people that I compete with. So because of comparison, I now do not see the potential in me. I do not see the good in me because I'm constantly comparing myself to, let me say, El Rato that I'm competing with. I cannot see that as much as she has this, I also have this. As much as she's good in this, I'm also good in this. I couldn't even balance my what you call my strengths because now I constantly look down on myself and I compare myself with others. That was the biggest challenge, and I'm glad that I was able to overcome it this year.
Yes. How did you overcome it this year? For anyone else who's watching and they're struggling with the
So
same
while
thing.
writing my book, I wanted to add a section where I speak about self-comparison, and I realized that okay, this is speaking about me. So instead, before writing these pages of the book, before teaching people about comparison, why not start off? Why not start now? Like why do I not be the example instead of that I do not relate to? So I then tried by all means to like overcome it. I started my strengths in a positive way instead of comparing it with other people's strengths. And I understood that everyone is different in their own ways. Our journeys are going to be different. And the end goal is the crown, yes. But it does not mean now that I should compare myself with others. And that's going to make me bitter, you know. So I tried to overcome it. And the minute I was able to write those pages of that segment, I knew I already overcome it.
Amazing stuff. And now Miss Teenager South Africa is your very first national pageant. What has the experience been like so far, and what are you learning through the process?
It's been a challenging journey. So I'm used to this thing of showing up at a pageant on the day of the pageant, just come back home with a crown and a sash. I'm so used to that. I'm not used to investing in the pageant, being emotionally, physically, financially, and everything what you call invested in the pageant.
Invested.
There on the final day, you know. So I was not so used to the hard work that comes with it. And as much as it is, I love it. I love learning through this journey.
Amazing. And what has been the highlight so far? I mean, the pageant grand finale is in December, so you only have a month left. What has been the highlight of your journey?
The sisterhood. Oh my gosh. Let me not be the girl. I love my fellow contestants. Shout out to Lutendo and who's this other girl? Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. But there's such lovely girls. She knows herself. You know, you're competing with her, but when
Yes.
you do something, she's in a comment section congratulating you. She's reposting instead of asking for asking for support for other people. They're so lovely. Like fellow contestants this year. Oh my gosh, I love the sisterhood.
Ah, that's so great. That's so great. And seeing that the matric exams have started, how do you balance being a grade 12 learner with the demands of preparing for such a invested in pageant?
I started preparing from the beginning of the year. I learned balance from the beginning of the year. I did not want to find myself stumbling and crumbling in this now. So what I did is January, I divide my time, like maybe 2 hours is for me to be on Instagram because I realized that pageants lately are like they judge a lot based on social media. So I only spend 2 hours of my day on Instagram, and I do not do they do not require us to meet in person. We're only gonna meet on the finale week, so at least I do not have to worry about that. And my photo shoots, community outreach programs, and everything, I always schedule them on Sundays because I do not have school on Sunday. I go to school from Monday to Saturday, so that's how I balance.
Oh, that's really nice. And it's realistic as well. I mean, social media is also, even for me, like coming into Instagram and posting your poster, for example. And then I leave Instagram and come back at a certain time to repost and then I leave again and then come tomorrow. So it's a schedule, this thing. People need to understand that, being active on social media is actually a schedule. Because I can see, and you're actually right, because I can see you were online. Remember with the poster, you said, I'm posting it now. Should I do a collab or are you going to post later? And I'm like, I'll post later because you're on Instagram that time. So it's really, really realistic. And that's how people need to know and learn how to maintain the balance. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, and all the best with your exams. What have you written so far?
I've paper 3 home languages and English.
And how was that?
It was so let me say something. The topics, I think they say something to me. Like the essay topics, they're trying to say something to me, because the English essay topic was speaking about how you make small steps to big changes. And that's literally what's been happening to me this whole year. And so while writing that essay, I was so happy, like got all my emotions in it. And then the home language one was speaking about how you meet obstacles and all these things in your way to success. I mean, what are these essays trying to do to me?
Like, they are yours. I mean, they're getting you ready for Parliament, my darling. Like, amazing stuff. And then now, after high school, you mentioned that you want to venture into politics, yes, and law and arts and media. How do you see yourself combining these? Very important.
So, I wanna study law, right?
There's Lutendo.
I do not necessarily want to study politics, but if I get a chance to, I'm definitely going to do that. So I'm going to start with law. I get accepted for my first choice course. I'm going to start with law, and as soon as I finish my law career, I know it's going to make sense then. I want to have a law related reality show about what you call gender-based violence victims. So I'm a lawyer, right? And I only represent gender violence victims, and it's a reality show. So showcasing different scenarios, different stories, so like people learn that there are different aspects into and it's not actually what they think it is. There's more to it, and they should know that every little gender-based violence needs to be reported. So if it's a reality show, it's also educational, and I'm gonna be in the media industry. And the rest of the things will fall into
then the rest of the thing will pop into place. So I love that. So it literally brings everything together. Your media side, you're obviously a great speaker. You want to speak as well. You want to be involved in the production. Girl, you have this life thing figured out. Well done.
Thank you.
Lutendo is here.
Hi, Lutendo. You see what I was taking up?
Hi, Lutendo.
You see what I was taking up?
Yes. Yes, I see it. Hi, Nintendo. Thank you so much for joining in. And what message would you like to share with your fellow matriculants during this very crucial time?
Number one, do not try anything you never tried this year. Do not try any new study method you never tried this year. Let me tell you why. You're going to start not sleeping at night, and you were so used to sleeping the whole year, and you're going to be exhausted in the exam room, meaning all your hard work is not going to amount to anything. Or you now start, if you were used to not sleeping at night and it worked for you, you start because you want to not be exhausted, and it's not going to work for you. Just stick to what you were doing the whole year. But of course, now, Hara, I don't know how to make it make sense, but stick to what you were doing the whole year. What I can say to you.
Amazing stuff. I love that. If you try something new right now, it might throw you off as well, and then the entire system shakes.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for that. I hope everyone took down notes, even us, like varsity students. we need to take note of that. It's not just for matriculants. Yes, if I'm used to doing this, I shouldn't be trying any new methods. Go to work, come back, study, go right.
Go hour.
Amazing stuff. So now, at school, you sound like a well-versed young lady. You sound very what do the politicians call it again? Oh my gosh. Radical. Yes. You sound very radical. like you are here. Are you a prefect? Are you in the top 10? You look smart, you sound smart.
So I am a prefect, and whenever there's anything that needs public speaking, I'm telling you, debate, or there's someone that came to our school and they need someone to speak or whatever, I'm always on the top 5 people they want to be there to speak, you know. And academically, yes, I do push, and I excel in languages. So those are my strengths. I excel in languages.
That's great because in the arts, especially for law and media and politics, that is going to be very important. So you excel in the languages or in the subjects that, are going to push you forward in your career. So once again, girl, like you have everything figured out. Like it's so amazing.
Sat down and I planned my life. I'm like, I do not want to go out there and take anything that comes my way because I did not plan.
Exactly. Exactly. Which high school do you go to?
It's a public school. It's literally across the street. It takes 3 minutes for me to go to school. It's called Siyabonga.
Siyabonga Secondary School. Okay, I want to visit Siyabonga Secondary
Please do.
School. I want to go there. I want to go there. So I need to, where in Soweto? I know it's Soweto, but it's
In
Siyabonga Secondary School
Bramfisherville. You don't know
in
you don't
Bramfisherville. I do. I have a friend who stays there.
nice. Because people
Yes,
don't
I
know
know
it.
it. I didn't
A lot
get
of
that. Sorry.
people do not know Bramfisherville. They know Soweto, but people don't know Bramfisher. And I'm like, what Soweto do you know?
Oh, okay, it's called Bramfisher. Aye, you never had anyone say called Bramfisher. It doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so now the most crucial question for you at the moment. Why do you think you should be crowned Miss Teenager South Africa 2024?
I believe I should be crowned Miss Teenager South Africa 2024 because I believe I'm a person who a lot of young people can look in my eyes and see their future reflected in me. I'm very much realistic. I do not sell dreams and I did not promise anybody anything. I am authentic. I'm authentically me and I bring what I have to the table. I am a very innovative person. I love learning through experiences. So I did not say I am perfect. I said I am authentic. And I think a brand like Miss Teenager South Africa needs an authentic person because they do not want to sell people dreams.
Sure. I love that. I love it. I hope Miss Teenager South Africa gets to see this. I hope they get to see the live. I hope they get to, listen to your answer. It is so amazing. Thank you so much for that. And what message would you like to share with your fellow young people about how to handle themselves and how to handle life in general, overall, if you were to motivate them?
So if we generalize everything, I would like to say where you are does not determine where you are going. A township, a shady township with, I'm sorry to say this, but with your drunkard parents who do not believe in your dreams, who think certain things are for certain people, do not let that get into your head. Rather look delulu now, and later on, people do not believe them when they point you on TV and they say, this used to be my neighbor, she used to be a friend of mine. Just dream as big as you can. If you believe you can innovate a new car, you can do it. Dream as big as you can. You should not limit yourself. The sky is not even the limit. Like the limit is the space. So when you fall in the clouds. So dream as big as you can. Do not limit yourself, your circumstances, your past, your family, your current financial situations, your academic, whether you're struggling academically or not, that should not determine where you go.
I love that. I love that. Thakgatso, thank you so much for that amazing answer. And thank you so much for the amazing interview that we had finally. But before we close, our signature question, what does beauty mean to you?
Oh my gosh, I think beauty is beyond what you see. Beauty is how you present yourself, it's how you think, and it's how you see life. So you cannot look beautiful if you see life as a person that's just supposed to wake up and survive. You do not look pretty that way. I think beauty is how you feel, it's who you are besides what we see. So, in simple terms, I can say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. We see you the way you present yourself, and that's what defines beauty for me.
Sure. Amazing stuff. It's one of the best answers we've had for what does beauty mean to you in a very long time. So thank you. Thank you, girl. You did the absolute most. And listen, no pressure, no pressure. But in 2022, we interviewed Kanyisi and she won Miss Teenager South Africa as a finalist. We interviewed her as a finalist and she went on to win the competition. Last year, we interviewed Ashley and she made it to the top 5 out of how many ladies? 70 something, 80 something. Exactly. So now, once again, no pressure, but pressure. Because we look to you as, sorry, you're saying?
Standard has already been set. I cannot be the one that's gonna like destroy the pattern.
Right. And remember, we don't go out to look for the finalists. That's the craziest part. We don't know how to look for anyone.
We literally bring ourselves to you.
You literally bring ourselves to us. So you are our key finalists for this year. And once we interview a finalist, I'm sorry to anyone who's watching, but once we interview a finalist, unless if we have an arrangement with the pageant to interview a certain number of finalists, we are done. Thakgatso is our finalist for 2024. So pressure, no pressure. Please make us proud.
I'm promising. I'm coming back to you on the 14th of December and tell you, remember what you promised. I'm literally promising you. I'm not joking.
Thank you. I love that. Everything is in your favor. We are starting the countdown to Miss Teenager South Africa with you. You are the chosen finalist and you are on the 120th episode of this entire vlog. So you have a special episode. It's really special because it's also on a Friday. So we usually don't do interviews on Friday. So pressure, no pressure, girl. Do your thing. But all in all the best. We are rooting for you. How else can people vote for you, watch, buy tickets? What information do they need to know?
First thing first, please follow my Instagram because I post all updates on Instagram. Tickets are currently out, so they're 500 rands for general and 850 rands for VIP. Voting procedures are always on my profile grid, and I also post on my every now and then. And if you have any questions, any no matter how small your question is, please don't hesitate to hit my inbox and I'll gladly guide you through the steps of voting.
Amazing stuff. Thakgatso, thank you so much once again for joining us this evening and for your patience with everything else that goes on behind the scenes. If they knew what goes on behind the scenes, they will be crowning you right now because you are the queen of persistence.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for also being patient. Hey,
amazing stuff. So have yourself a great evening. We shall meet again 14 December. Yeah. December, not December, December. We are there. Amazing stuff. Bye. Oh my gosh, what a funny interview. Oh my gosh, it had to be fun. I mean, it's on a Friday. It had to be.
I'm so special.
We never have interviews on Friday. But like I said to you yesterday, I like you as an individual. So because I knew I'm available, I did my thing. But before we go, just a couple of announcements. Next week, Tuesday, we'll be interviewing Miss Golden Heart South Africa. Miss Golden Heart South Africa, Eastern Cape. Yeah. Yes, the pageant. So we're interviewing their senior queen next week, Tuesday. Her name is SA2, so I can't wait for that. She's also like a character. She's like you. She has like...
I can't wait to watch.
Like, she has all the energy in the world, so I better be ready with my Red Bull to soak everything in. So keep it locked on our pages for more information. And lastly, if you are or if you know anyone who's a pageant owner, director, or service provider, you can now advertise your products on our platform, as well as services and events. So send us an email, hermajestyorganization@gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 073 117 7477, or just send us a DM here on Instagram. We are always here, always answering to DMs. And yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Until next week, have yourselves a great evening and weekend. Bye bye.